Hello and welcome to the Old Time Radio Hour. I'm your host, Justine Ward. Each week we bring you a treat from the golden age of radio. This week we have two great biographies from Destination Freedom, Booker T. Washington and George Washington Carver. Both of these men were born into slavery and achieved greatness in education. This week is Juneteenth, the federal holiday celebrating the end of slavery in the United States. So let's start with the riveting story of Booker T. Washington. This is Destination Freedom, Up from Slavery. First broadcast March 13th, 1949 on WMAQ.
Destination Freedom. Destination Freedom, dramatizations of the great democratic traditions of the Negro people, is brought to you by station WMAQ as a part of the pageant of history and of America's own Destination Freedom. From the chaotic days following the Civil War, there emerged a giant of a man who, by his own fierce struggle and one-track determination, succeeded in becoming the undisputed leader of Southern Negro educators. In a chapter entitled Up from Slavery, Destination Freedom tells the story of Booker T. Washington.
He was never quite sure of the exact place or exact date of his birth, but he knew it was in a log cabin 16 feet square, and that the naked earth was the floor. He was never quite sure of what time he stopped working at night, but he always knew that when a cock crowed in the dark mornings, he awoke and started work. And he never quite knew who his father was, but he knew he had been watched over by a sad-faced woman who never sang until this pregnant morning.
Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, and the walls come tumbling down.
He pulled himself up on his elbows in the dark. Something had happened to her that had never happened before.
Mama? Mama? Something the matter?
You awake, son? Good. Then it's gotten into you, too.
Me? Are you sick?
I've been sick. Now I'm healed.
Well, am I healed, too?
When the sun comes up, you'll be healed, too, son.
Well, it's time to go out in the field for work. I'll go to the big house and tell the master you're not well. I'll do your part.
Son!
Yeah, Ma?
It's not time to go up to the big house yet.
Yes, it is. The overseer says when the rooster crows to be out in the field. Hear the rooster?
How would you like the rooster for breakfast?
Mama.
Him and his kind awakened us to work for the master all the years I've lived. Well, this morning we'll have him for breakfast. I'll use the hat.
Mama, please. The overseer will be down on us. Mama. You killed him.
I killed the voice of the master. Now he won't call us slaves to work anymore.
Then the lash will call us. Overseer said so.
No one will call you to the fields anymore. After tomorrow morning, there'll be no more slaves.
No more slaves on this plantation?
Or any plantation.
Then I'm as good as a master.
You always were.
Then I can do what he does.
What is it you want?
A school. A school where there'll be no overseers, no masters, and where I can learn to work the fields and teach freedmen to own and hold the land.
Before you teach, you gotta learn. I wondered why you volunteered to do work around the master school just to look on the inside. Well, it'll be a long time before you get on the inside, son.
It'll be a long time before I'll be free.
It'll be a short time. The grapevine told me. The Yankees will tell you.
And in another morning, in place of the rooster, a Yankee regiment woke the boy. A courier called through the row of cabins.
Everybody, up to the
big house. Everybody out. Everybody up to the big house. Everybody.
The boy followed the sad woman and the slaves up to the porch of the master's house. He stared up at the men in blue uniform and the courier with his scroll of paper. The words he heard were not in his dream.
Here now. Order. The President of the United States has sent me to read the following proclamation, effective immediately. Is everyone here?
Yes.
Very well, listen. I, Abraham Lincoln, President of the United States, by virtue of the power invested in me, do this first day of January 1863 proclaim that all persons held as slaves within any state in rebellion against the United States shall henceforth and forever be free.
Amen.
And upon this I believe to be an act of justice.
The courier read on until the long scroll was unrolled. The boy sat trembling beside the sad woman and was sure he was still in the dream until the courier began to count the new freedmen and to concern himself with their next move.
It's your turn, woman. Do you intend to stay on this land?
I'm going as far from this as I can get.
At least you'll have a cabin here. You can build on that.
My boy here wants to build on the dream he has. I'm going to help him.
This your boy?
He is.
What's his name?
Sometimes I just call him Baby.
Look, woman, I'm collecting this information for the benefit of the government. I can't put down Baby for a boy this size. What's his real name?
And sometimes I call him Booker.
Booker what?
Booker is soft.
Ma'am, let me school you in the habits of free people. Free people have two names, at least two. A first and a last. Now, what's going to be the boy's last name, assuming the first is Booker? Say a name after this plantation, or his master, Hamilton.
I named the dog after his master.
And you got to name the boy something. What shall I put down?
Just put down Booker.
I tell you, free people all have two names.
I hear free people can name themselves. Is that right?
Oh, no law one way or the other.
Then someday my boy will choose his own name.
Very well. I'll register Booker. Now, what do you intend to make of him? Farmer, mill hand, carpenter?
And I hear that free people can make of themselves what they want to be.
You hear an awful lot for an old woman.
And Booker will make of himself what he dreams of being. Now, if you let us pass, we'll be on our way to Malden, Virginia. He has a stepfather there waiting for him.
Malden's little better than a slave camp. He'll never get out of it.
Some thought he'd never get out of slavery. He did. Good day, Mr. Courier.
Good day, old woman. Good day, Booker.
The courier stood on the plantation steps and watched the sad woman and her boy disappear up the road, then scratched their names off the register and gave them up for lost. The pair traveled many miles through the mountains and woods and came to the little town called Malden, made their way to a cluster of cabins, and at the door of one the woman knocked.
Is that you, old woman?
Stetson, I said I'd bring the boy if ever got free. Well, we're free.
Come in. Look around at what you've come to.
Yeah. Is this where we're to live?
In a cabin worse than the one you left. You expected to step into a better world just because you left your chains behind? This boy here is thin, greedy. Here we're just one step from slavery, and we need men who can work or fight. He looks good for neither.
Booker is going to school.
School? There's not a school a freed man can get into. You think that things are different? We're free, but we own nothing. Secret clubs and clans are reforming to herd us back into slavery. Every boss here is against an ex-slave learning to read or write, just as they was before the war. Work is from sunrise to dark, just as before. If you don't do that, you starve. You can take your pick, Booker. Which'll be your grave? The salt mine or the coal mine?
You said he was too thin to do hard work.
Thin men eat just as much food as thick men are here. Which? Salt mine. Then put your bones in bed.
He rose the next morning with the sun, and at the salt mines the foreman inspected his bones through his scanty clothes.
Oh.
His kind don't last long in the mine, Stetson.
Hey, he's gonna be a big-sized man, Mr. Foreman. And he's my stepson. Food's all he needs.
Can he lift 250 pounds?
Well, I wouldn't say I...
Try that salt keg, you. Lift the keg on the table.
Me?
Yeah, it's you who wants the job. Lift it.
I'll try.
Oh, yeah, it's no use. He's never done the hard work before. Can't you just let him mark the numbers on the kegs as they're packed, maybe? Huh?
Can he read the letters?
Well, no, but
Well, if he could lift the kegs, it might be worth teaching him to at least read a few digits.
You mean if I lift the keg, you'll teach me the right numbers?
Well, it's against the custom here to teach freedmen, but I might teach a strong boy.
Which keg can I lift?
Well, they're always the same.
I'll lift it.
Don't, Booker. Don't try to lift the keg.
I'll lift it.
The thin boy bent over the keg, strained the muscles in his back and legs, and finally held the keg off the ground. You'll have to do that 10 times an hour. I'll show you how to write the numbers from 1 to 10. Drop it. Pick up the chalk. The foreman drove a hard bargain, and the boy stuck to it until he had learned to write the numbers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. I can write 10.
Then he persuaded the foreman to teach him how to put the magic numbers together to form greater numbers and how to work with them. But he went home evenings, his mind still hungry for more, until he made a bargain with a beggar.
Who are you? What do you want?
Well, don't look as if I'm an enemy. I'm an ex-slave, too. You spare a meal?
You've been a soldier. You know conditions in camps like these. Me and my boys all that's working. Now, if you could pay something...
I can't pay.
I can't spare a meal. Good day.
Papa? Who was it?
Someone we can't help and who can't help us. Get ready for work.
The boy got ready for work, but when he looked outside, he saw the soldier pick up a newspaper and stare at it long and hard. He went out to him.
Mister,
Yes?
are you reading that paper?
Well, you're not blind.
And you know how to write, too.
Well, you're very bright.
Look, if you had the time, would you teach me to read it?
Teaching is very taxing on the stomach. It's hard to teach well when you're hungry.
I could get you a meal for it. I'd work extra in the coal mines for that.
Commendable. But one meal and one lesson wouldn't go very far. I'd still starve in this hole, and you'd still be ignorant. Now, my stomach informs me that a whole series of meals might influence me to part with some knowledge. But, of course, the pennies you pick up in the mines couldn't handle that.
Oh, they could not alone. But there's 100 families here who would feed you for a lesson.
Hmm?
If I could get them to agree to...
Arrange for the series of meals, my boy, covering, say, the span of a year. And I'll arrange for the lectures. Go ahead.
The boy went ahead and got the teacher students and spent his few spare hours in odd study of the ways of alphabets and syllables, and learned the geography of the land and one word that stuck in his mind.
This here spot on the map's Washington, Booker. This here's where Lincoln died. Here's where he wrote the proclamation, Washington.
Washington.
A good name. Now, here's the city of Richmond, the Confederate capital, and here's where we are, and if you ever want to get out of here, you got to go this way.
He learned the roads that led out of his closed town, and one day the soldier shut the books and said,
All right, lad, your lessons are over.
Are you going to examine me?
I've examined you 100 times more than you needed just to get the meals. You know all that you can get from me. You've got part of the key that'll unlock the prison you're in. Now it's up to you to get the other part.
Well, where'll I get...
Well, there's a school free men can enter. It's an industrial school. They call it Hampton. Only one of its kind.
I'll go to Hampton.
It's a long way from here, and take more money to make it halfway than you make a year in the salt mines.
They make more in the coal mines.
Life is shorter in the coal mines. What's driving you, son?
I can't live in See all around me people hungry for learning and needing the ABCs of the master's sons take for granted. All my life I dreamed of schools.
Ah, be practical, lad. How much you think one ex-slave working for pennies can do, even if he had the chance?
I don't know. I intend to see.
He went down in the coal pits, and in a year had put enough pennies in a sack to take them to the office of the stagecoachman, who counted the miles they would carry a man.
No, this isn't enough to get you to Hampton, fella.
How close will it take me?
Maybe near Richmond. From there, you'll have to either find some money in the road, unlikely, or make it on foot past the night raiders who are looking for loose freedmen, which is impossible. Either way, I'll put you out when your money runs out.
He rode out his fare and walked through the woods and mountains, dodged night raiders, hid in the underbrush, and came into the Richmond market hungry and ragged, and found the ex-Confederate city still hostile.
Smoke fish, fish.
Please, mister.
If Penny's not pleased, it gets it soon.
I got 3 left. How much will it buy?
Loafer, when I get ready to give away my fish, I'll call the cats. You're free fish for yourself. Fish!
He went fishing for himself and searched the streets for food and work. And at night he found a place under the high wooden sidewalks of the city. He slipped under and slept until morning, walked out towards the docks, and watched the captain and his crew unloading a ship of pig iron plates.
Easy, man. Don't strain. Set it down now. Easy. Easy does it. Easy.
Captain.
You looking for something, lad?
A job.
You strong enough to lift pig iron plates?
Well, I don't know.
That's the only kind of job on the docks this week.
If I had something to eat first, maybe I could do it.
Oh, no. I don't fall for that. You're going to say if you weren't hungry, you'd be strong. Eat first and work later. Oh, no. Maybe you can't really do the work in the first place.
Oh, I can do it all right.
If you can lift 1 pig iron plate hungry, you're worth 2 full. Lift 1 and I'll invest in your breakfast.
Lift the whole plate?
You want to eat a whole breakfast?
I'll try it.
He bent his body as he had bent it over the keg of salt. With all the strength the years in the mines had given him, raised the heavy plates, took it to a pile, sat it down.
You did it on your nerves. No man's able to lift a plate on muscle alone. What do they call you?
Booker.
Well, you've won yourself a breakfast. Hey, stand up. What's the matter with you? Hey, mate, he's fainted. Help me up with him. Help me.
The mates helped him to his feet, and with breakfast in a room under the Richmond sidewalk, he worked the docks until the ship sailed and the captain paid him off.
All I can pay is your meals and this watch. It's gold. Got it in the old country. You keep it till you're broke again, then pawn it and start from scratch.
He put the watch in a pocket without a hole and hurried on to Hampton. Arrived in time to stand in line while the registrar checked in students and looked down at his ragged clothes.
You. Who do you call yourself?
Booker.
Booker who?
Well, just Booker's all.
Quiet, please. Young man, the school's overcrowded and we have no room for pranksters and tramps. Now, what do you want?
Well, I came to learn how to perhaps run a school myself.
Well, it's quite a noble ambition, but I'm sorry. This is an industrial college. It's only for those who have had some schooling.
Well, I had some.
Where?
In Malden.
Oh, that's a salt and coal mining camp. Here's our entrance examination. But you've got to know something about mathematics.
I'll take it. I'll fill it out now.
The boy called Booker took the digits and fitted them into their proper place, and the registrar was more careful.
Well, you've gotten these answers from somewhere. All the students who come here, must work as well as study. I'm giving you a broom. Clean out the storeroom, and when you're finished, call me.
The boy took the broom and swept the room 4 times for his odd entrance examination. When he had finished, the registrar came in.
Why, you're through?
I'm through.
She looked amazed at the ragged figure standing in the center of a spotless room, wiped her hands on the floor, and said,
I'm sorry. You can register.
Thank you.
Now, your name?
Oh, Booker?
Yes.
Booker T. Washington.
He named himself and went inside the college to make of himself what he had dreamed of being. He worked his way through and mastered every detail of the industrial arts, taught in its classes, and formed a philosophy that was to become his guide for life.
I shall hereafter fight to see that no man in the South, Negro or white, is forced to undergo the same trials and struggles for an education that my generation was forced to face. And I'll tell everyone looking for opportunity to cast down their buckets where they are. That's why I want to build a school, Colonel Armstrong.
He was talking to the president and builder of Hampton Institute.
That's why I built this one, Washington. Another's needed. Now, you, more than any teacher we've had, have a philosophy that'll fit the South nowadays. And if you're willing, I've found a place for you to start.
Where?
It's on a few acres near the town of Montgomery, Alabama. It's called Tuskegee. I don't know if you're willing to accept the job of running the school.
I'll accept the job right now.
Good. I'll wire the authorities you'll be there within a week. I'll take you over the grounds myself and show you what you've got to work with. It's not much, I understand, but we'll see. We'll see.
They came, and they saw, and Washington said,
There's not much here is right. Just a shanty and an old church building.
It's all the state gave to start with.
Where's the school?
That you'll have to build yourself, unless you can conduct classes inside this old church.
Under that shaky roof?
I see all you see, Washington. I'm going to loan you $150 to start. It's all I've got. I've told the farmers in the community that you were opening up today.
You think they'll come to this old church?
It's a beginning.
It's a sad beginning.
You pushed your way up from a worse beginning. I know being planted here is like struggling all your life to get out of a grave and being buried again, but take your own advice. Cast down your buckets where you are. Stay and see what you can bring up. Good day, Washington.
He sat down on the broken pew of the old church and looked up through a hole in the rooftop at the clouds gathering in the sky. After what seemed a long while, someone knocked at the church door.
Come in.
He took out the watch the captain had given him and noticed the time. It was morning, but the clouds had made it evening.
Pardon me, mister. This the new school?
Well, if you call it that.
You Washington, the principal?
That's right.
Might have known it. Got your watch out checking on who's late. Glad I got here early. Half Montgomery's coming up the road.
They are?
They said you was opening today with a course in farming, didn't they?
That's right.
I'll just sit in the front pew here if you don't mind. You sit in this pew when Reverend Carey was preaching to you.
Well, I'm afraid we won't have much class today, Mr.
Radcliffe's the name.
You see the roofs is leaky.
Yeah, just the way it did when Reverend Carey had the place. Over the same pew, too. Well, this time I didn't forget my umbrella. I'll just hold it over you here, Professor, while you go over the lesson. That high enough?
He gave his first lesson in the church while the student held the umbrella. And he saw the same hunger for schooling that had caused him to push on, bring people from the valleys and the town and hills into the old church until he had established his class and could call them together in the churchyard to take the next step.
I know most of you wanted to come to a school already built and where you could study in well-constructed buildings. Well, if we expect to have these buildings, there's only one way to get them, to build them ourselves. My plan is not only that all agricultural and domestic work at Tuskegee will be done by students, but that the buildings will also be put up by your hands. We may make mistakes, but we'll also learn valuable lessons.
Mr. Washington?
Yes, Mr. Radcliffe?
You say we haven't any money.
Not enough to hire contractors to build buildings.
And in order to build, you've got to have bricks, Mr. Washington. Where'd you get the money to buy bricks?
Well, I propose we do the same for bricks as the buildings. Make our own, and then build. Now, we'll build a furnace and bake enough bricks not only to build our school, but to sell to the farmers.
Well, we get the clay for all this, Mr. Washington.
My motto still is, cast down your buckets where you are. Why, under your feet is the best clay in the country. We'll make our killing with it and our bricks.
With blueprints from an old book, he dug a pit and built a furnace, and the students molded bricks and put them inside to bake. When the baking was done, the farmer called him.
I wanted you to look first, Mr. Washington.
Yes. Go on, pull out the tray.
They all cracked. The furnace was made wrong.
Yes. Call back to the students. I have enough money to fix another furnace. We'll try again.
He dug a second furnace, worked it with his hands, and watched the students mold bricks and slip them in the oven. And on the morning after the baking, the farmer called again.
I came up to see you, Mr. Washington, before we went down to the oven.
What happened?
They came out cracked again. And you said that was the last of your money.
It had been the last of his money, but in the morning he went into town and took the advice of the captain of the pig iron ship.
I'm a pawnbroker, Mr. Washington, not Santa Claus.
How much is it worth?
Well, considering the gold in it...
How much?
I'd say $40. Is that enough?
That's just enough to buy material for one more furnace. I'll take it.
He took it and went back, and with his own hands molded the furnace and the bricks and set the fire and watched the oven. When the baking was done, the farmer asked,
Shall I open it for you, Mr. Washington?
Open it.
You got your eyes closed.
How are they?
As pretty a batch of bricks as your eyes will ever see.
They gathered the bricks and built the buildings, and farmers from across the states came to buy them and to leave their sons and daughters at Tuskegee. And the principal expanded his faculty and brought in a chemist from Iowa and asked searchingly,
Are you sure you're willing to give up your place at Iowa to teach at Tuskegee?
I'm certain of it.
Good. Then instead of telling the farmers what to do, we'll show them what to do. And they'll never forget it. I'll call your department the George Washington Carver Laboratory and make it what you want it to be.
His chemist made the laboratory the most famous in the South, and money that had been held back poured into the school. 3 presidents came down to inspect the Tuskegee grounds, and one invited him to Washington.
Stay and have dinner with me, Washington. And I'd like to know just why you turned those cavalry horses I sent you into plow horses.
Well, you see, Mr.
Mr. President, do you mind if the photographers get a picture of you and Dr. Washington at dinner together?
Oh, of course not. Go ahead. Now, what were you saying about those horses? You'll have to do some explaining.
The photographers got their picture, and prints of it reached the Alabama newspapers even before the Tuskegee principal had gotten off the train.
That's him. That's Washington getting off the train now.
Grab him. Pull him over here. Grab him.
Come on.
What's the matter?
Miller.
What's the matter?
Miller, you see this picture of you on the paper?
You know it's against the state law for a nigger to be eating with a white man.
And in the White House.
Give it to him, Ned. Give it to him.
They gave it to him. But beaten and crippled, the man who had built the Alabama school had only quiet words to say to his angry friends.
This is an outrage, Washington. I know how you must hate the prejudiced hoodlums who did this.
No, Colonel. Few things are capable of making one so blind and narrow as race prejudice. I'll permit no man to narrow and degrade my soul by making me hate him.
And he was to say many things that people in Alabama were to repeat as their own.
I know too many men with enough paper diplomas to boil a pot, but not enough skill or initiative to grow or get a cabbage to put in the pot. The white man who begins by cheating a Negro usually ends by cheating a white man. The white man who begins by discriminating against a Negro soon discriminates against white men, too. And all of this makes it important that the whole nation lend a hand in trying to lift the burden of ignorance in the South.
And though his life was short, he left a long shadow at Tuskegee that lengthened with the years and stood as a monument to the man who came up from slavery, named himself, and made of himself what he wanted to be.
have just heard Destination Freedom's dramatization of the story of Booker T. Washington, Negro educator. Destination Freedom is written by Richard Durham and is produced under the direction of Homer Heck. The role of Booker T. Washington was played by Fred Pinkard. Others were Wesleyan Tilden, Oscar Brown Jr., Donald Gallagher, Charles Mountain, and Tony Parrish. The special music was written by Emil Soderstrom and played by Elwin Owen and Jose Bethencourt. This is Charles Chan inviting you to be with us again next week when Destination Freedom will present Black Boy, the story of Richard Wright.
You have been listening to the Old Time Radio Hour with your host, Justine Ward. Next, we have the biography of the man Booker T. Washington worked for, the founder of Tuskegee University, George Washington Carver. He was born into slavery and then traded for a horse, yet he managed to find a way to get an education. The series Destination Freedom can't be called a network show because it wasn't broadcast in much of the South due to racism. It's a great show with high-quality production values that was distributed to some parts of the country by NBC. This is Destination Freedom, the boy who was traded for a horse, first broadcast November 17th, 1948 on WMAQ, Chicago.
Destination Freedom. The Chicago Defender and station WMAQ bring you Destination Freedom, dramatizations of the great democratic traditions of the Negro people, interwoven in the pageant of history and a part of America's own Destination Freedom. Today, Destination Freedom tells the story of the famous scientist Dr. George Washington Carver in a chapter entitled The Boy Who Was Traded for a Horse.
They never let him forget the horse. He was to remember the horse long after he'd forgotten his father and mother. For in a way, the horse was to set him free, if he were worth the horse. That was the question. Was one skinny, sickly little boy worth Farmer Carver's sturdy stallion? That was the question the slave stealers had stopped in a Missouri valley to decide.
Is this all you got, Farmer? A horse? Ain't you got no money?
All I got's my horse. Ain't that enough?
Hey, it don't look like a good trade, Tom. If you ask me...
Who's asking you, Slim? The farmer's putting it up to me. The boy and his mother's mine, not yours. Now be quiet a minute.
Oh, all right, Tom. All right. You settle it.
Farmer?
Yeah?
Open your horse's mouth. Let's see his teeth.
Whoa, Peter. Whoa. There. Well?
And teeth look all right. Give him a whack, Slim. Turn him around.
Oh. No knots on his legs. But, Tom, a slave boy will fetch a right good price in Louisiana. Won't he, Jackson?
Sure he will, Tom. They're dying for slaves down in Louisiana.
Sure.
Will you keep quiet?
Farmer,
you've been following us since we took the boy and his mother from his master. Now, what's she to you?
It's my wife that wants them set free at any price.
And where's the price?
I'm just a cotton farmer. I don't have no money.
Slim?
Yeah, Tom?
What do you think?
Well, a horse ain't bad, ain't too old. But you being short-sighted, Tom.
Yeah, Tom, in 10 years, the horse won't be worth nothing. Boy'll get more valuable as he grows. Then in 10 years...
In 10 months, you fool, the war will be open, the slaves will be free. Won't be able to sell them nowhere. We need another horse. Farmer?
Yeah?
Tie the horse to that tree there and go down the road a piece while we examine him good. Come back when the sun sets. You'll either have the boy or the horse.
What about his mother?
The horse might be worth a boy. Ain't no horse worth a woman and a boy. Now go down the road and we'll call you when we decide.
How'll I know you won't run off and take 'em both?
You don't. We could take 'em both if we wanted 'em both. Maybe we don't want 'em both. Come back in a little while and you'll have either the boy or your horse. Well, what you standing there for?
The farmer went down the road, and when the sun set and the purple shadows crept over the valley, He came back toward the tree. He heard a horse galloping away. His horse was gone. The boy was there, small, thin, sick and shivering. Farmer Carver was disappointed.
Is this what I gave my horse for? Well, don't lay there. Straighten yourself out, boy. You look like a question mark. At least live long enough so my old woman will know I did what she said. Lord, well, I get another horse.
Was the boy worth the horse? To Farmer Carver, it was a bad bargain. To his old woman, it was different.
Martha. Martha.
Yeah? Moses?
Well, they the horse, but I got the boy for you.
Where's Mary? You didn't bring Mary.
The boy was all I could get. He won't live. He's sick.
He's got to live. Oh, thank the Lord, Moses. Mary's boy's still alive. He's trembling, and the cold's tearing his little body to pieces. Oh, those miserable slave stealers. Get the doctor.
And pay him with what? Answer me, woman. What'll we pay the doctor with? The bugs and the bull weevils eating us out of house and home, and now we got a Negro boy to contend with.
He's Mary's child, and Mary was my best friend. She always helped us any way she could. Now I'll nurse her boy until he's well again.
Yeah, then what'll we do with him?
He'll stay here and live on the farm. He'll be a Carver, like us. I'll call him George. George Carver.
George. That horse would have helped plow the cotton crop. We live off the cotton. The boy'll never live to hear you call his name.
George? Oh, George! George Carver! Supper's ready! Now, where on earth is that boy? Moses, will you stop eating a minute and tell me?
Where he always spends his time. Out in the woods, picking up weeds and worms. I told you we should have kept that horse. Pass the butter.
Now you know George has helped us plenty around the farm since he's been here. You said so yourself.
I've said he's growing up strange. Don't like it.
He's a good boy. And you mustn't be so hard on him all the time.
10 years, and I'm no closer to him than on that first day. He's always planting something. Ain't there enough cotton for him to plant without him planting every weed he sees?
He's lonely.
Yeah, he's crazy. The neighbors say so. They hear him always talking to the flowers and turtles like he was one of them.
Oh, George! George!
And the questions he asks, he ain't normal. When I was a boy, I didn't give a hang what makes grasshoppers hop and what makes grass green. And the way he loves flowers. It ain't natural. Biscuits, please.
He does have a feeling for anything that grows. It's time we sent him to a town where there's a high school. That's what he wants.
I'll not waste my money on him. More butter, Martha.
George? Oh, here he comes.
I'm coming, Mama.
Well, what you got in your pockets? You're all puffed out. Where you been?
I've been out in the woods.
What did I tell you?
Here, clean up and get your supper. What's that you're holding behind you? Let's see it.
Oh, it's just an old turtle I picked up in the creek. Why does a turtle always...
You say? Questions. There he goes again.
What's this in your back pocket, George? Oh, land's sake.
That's moss. It grows on the north side of the trees.
What's in your pockets besides the bird's nest and those flowers and that rock?
It's a frog I found.
Oh.
Here, come here, Jumpy. Jumpy.
Get him off the supper table, George.
Will you get him down from here? Take that frog out of here. You see there? See what you've done? Now get out of here.
Don't talk to him like that, Moses.
I'll talk the way I feel. Since the boy's been here, we've had nothing but trouble. And I've had enough.
Blame it on the cotton crops. Don't blame it on the boy.
The crops was all right until we traded the horse for this daydreaming boy. I wish I'd kept the horse.
Moses, you had no right to say that to the boy. George, why do you look that way? Moses don't mean half he says. George, sit down and eat.
I'm not hungry. The boy was hearing the horse gallop off, and he was not hungry.
I'm not hungry now. I want to go to the school you were telling me about.
We can talk about that in the morning.
In the morning. I'll be a long way from here. A long way.
With Martha's kind help, the boy packed his knapsack, stuffed his pockets with seeds and leaves, and walked the 60 miles to Boomtown. Sat in a classroom by day and slept in a woodshed behind a Negro blacksmith's house until the owner came in one night to stack the wood.
Who's in here? I see you in the shadows there. John, help! Somebody's in here!
It's just me, ma'am.
You? Who are you? Whose boy are you?
Nobody's. I'm George Carver.
Every boy is somebody's boy. What are you doing in my woodshed?
I live here.
You're a mean little thief. John, you hear me? Call them off.
Please, I'm not a thief. I go to school.
You'll go to jail and the devil for this. That's where you'll go. What would the likes of you be learning in school?
To learn how to make things.
What things? Oh, John, will you come out here?
To make things, ma'am. Look, like this.
What are you pulling out of your pocket?
This, I made this.
You made this? Uh-huh. This is a flower.
I grew it.
Only God can make things grow.
And I learned how from him. If you let me live in this shed while I go to school, will you?
Emma, you call me, you in trouble?
All right, John.
All right. Rag him up in the woodshed and you say all right. What's he looking for?
God.
Oh. Well, I'll be frank with both of you. You won't find God in the woodshed on a cold night like this. Now, come on to the house and get some stuff.
The boy who had been traded for a horse came in for supper and stayed 4 years working with the blacksmith. He cooked and scrubbed and learned what the school had to teach him about the soil and the sun. His questions outgrew the town, and the blacksmith John and his wife Emma argued over where to send the orphan.
Emma, I've already decided that George is going north to college. Isn't that right, George?
Yes, I sent my application to Highland College in Emma.
Running north when there's plenty work to be done right here in the South. What's his education for?
There's nothing he can do here, Emma. Missouri ain't the place for him. All he's put in his head about plants and pollination and stuff's wasted, yep.
I still say he shouldn't run away.
And what'll his chemistry do for him in the cotton fields? Tell me. And besides, look outside.
I'm looking. Come away from the door, George. The crowd's gathering again.
What is it, Uncle John? Been that way all day. What's the matter?
A Negro was lynched in the next county. The fever's still running high. The boy will not stay here, Emma. That college took your application, George. Go north where there ain't no Jim Crow, no discrimination. You got a letter from Mr. Peabody, the president of the college. He welcomed you with open arms.
Yes, I'm President Peabody, but,
Carver. George Washington Carver's name.
Yes. You see, there's been some terrible mistake.
Your letter said to report to school today.
Yes, but we didn't know you were a Negro. You should have told us.
What's the difference?
The difference is that we don't take Negro students. Never have.
Oh?
I'm sorry. Try some other college.
You're sure you're the young man who applied to enter this college?
Of course, I got your letter, accepted my application.
Let's see the letter.
Here it is.
You wanted to enter what school?
I wanted chemistry.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Our chemistry classes are filled.
But I'd take botany to start off.
That appears to be filled also. In fact, we just don't seem to have any place for you at all, Carver. Try another college.
Very sorry, Carver, but our quota's filled. We just can't accept Negroes and Jews. Sorry.
And the boy was traded back and forth between the colleges. And in his head he heard the clatter of the galloping horse as the colleges weighed the question of whether he was worth admission. Until he quietly entered Iowa State College and buried himself in books and laboratories. But in his pockets, the flowers still grew. And on the campus one day, he was stopped and questioned.
Young man, what's that sticking out of your pocket?
Oh, you mean this plant?
Yes. May I see it?
Certainly.
I used to be an expert on these things. This, I'd say, is a Mencelia ornata.
I didn't know the name of it.
I noticed it because the nearest one grows quite a distance from the college.
I picked it up on my way here.
Well, then you live a long way from the school.
Huh?
No wonder you get here at all. Don't you like living in the dormitories?
You haven't been here long, mister. Negro students are barred from dormitories here.
Oh, I see. Well, then, suppose you move in with me. I live on the campus.
Then they'd kick us both out.
I hardly think so. I'm president of this college. Come on. We'll have dinner and talk this over.
The boy again went to dinner and stayed 4 years to find the answers to his boyhood questions, to work in the field and laboratories, to learn the laws of the microbes and molecules. He had come to learn. He stayed to teach. He took his students out into the field and showed them how to reap and sow, showed them how to shuffle the molecules and change nature into a dozen different products. The word went around that he could raise corn on a wooden floor, that he was a magician with molecules and test tubes. Then President Wilson had a word with him.
Professor Carver, we've gotten another telegram asking if we'll release you to work at another college.
He had come to learn. He stayed to teach. He took his students out into the field and showed them how to reap and sow, showed them how to shuffle the molecules and change nature into a dozen different products. The word went around that he could raise corn on a wooden floor, that he was a magician with molecules and test tubes. Then President Wilson had a word with him.
Professor Carver, we've gotten another telegram asking if we'll release you to work at another college. I thought I'd take it up with you.
My answer's the same. Tell them all that this is where I'm staying. But the requests kept coming in. And one telegram came from the South. It said,
Dr. Carver, we're trying to build a school for Negroes here in Alabama. We need help, trained scientific help. Signed, Booker T. Washington.
And Carver remembered the clatter of the horse and the barren farm he grew from. And he saw how easily the crops grew in Iowa, and threw away the letters, until one said,
Dr. Carver, if it's money you need, stay where you are. But if you want work that will test every theory you have, come to Alabama. If you want to work and see what really can be done with soil and sun, leave Iowa. Come to Tuskegee. Come to my office, and we'll plan our fight. I've taught reading and writing. I've taught students how to make good bricks, build walls, and be carpenters. But nothing will grow here for long. Look out the land. It's a lot different from Iowa, isn't it, Professor?
Yes, it is, Dr. Washington. Yes, it is. Carver looked. And as far as the eye could see, there were the bleak stretches of yellow and red soil, erosion gullies, rocks, and a few struggling plants.
It's easy for a chemist to be a genius in a state like Iowa, but can you grow anything out there? Out there are 500,000 black and white farmers, mostly sharecroppers, some sick, some starving, and they don't know how to farm. That land's all they've got.
Yes, and that land is worn out.
Well, you tell them that. I can't.
Well, I tell them.
We had thought you'd start out with a class in farming. Maybe then you can get across the idea of scientific planning. What do you think?
Maybe. The new professor was worried. He looked around for a laboratory and found an empty room. There were no orderly test tubes, no trained assistants, but boys off the farms who gathered around the new teacher and waited. He told them, Before we go to the farmers, we'll have to build a laboratory here. And we'll search the fields and farmhouses and dump heaps for bottles we can use as test tubes. We'll gather hollow reed from swamps to make tubing. We'll pick up jugs, skillets, saucepans, anything. We'll weld the steel together and make plows. And then we'll go after the land. They gave him a small plot of land to work on. And the older farmers came by to look and laugh at the sight of a professor. behind a plow.
Well, bud, look at the Yankee professor showing us how to plow.
Look at that. Hey, Professor, you got the horse hitched the wrong way. You ought to be where the horse is.
That's right, man.
The farmers laughed and laughed, but they stopped laughing when they saw the thin, stooped professor planting cowpeas between the furrows.
Well, Professor, you didn't come down here and show us about planting cowpeas, did you?
It's cotton we got to plant. Yeah. If you can tell us something about cotton, talk.
If you can, don't waste time calling us out here.
Yes, you're right. It's time I told you what I'm planting.
It's time you found out you're in Alabama, not Iowa. It's cotton we need, not cowpeas.
It's cotton I came to talk about. How much did your crops yield last year?
Well, I'd say nigh on 2 bales.
The year before this?
About 6 bales then.
Yeah.
It's been going down each year. But it's the only cash crop we can raise around here. Ground's not good for nothing else. This ain't Iowa, Professor.
Then you've got the answers to why I'm planting cowpeas in the ground instead of cotton. Huh? The ground around here is tired of cotton. It's got to have a rest. Yeah. Let it rest this year, and it'll yield double next year.
Oh, we heard that before from you, smart professor. Look, cotton's a money crop.
Cotton will bring cash. There's not enough money now to buy food to keep a man's kids from dying before his eyes with plague.
And he's talking crazy.
I'm talking to help you. Now, trust me. Forget about planting cotton and let the land rest with another crop. Do that, and I'll find a way to help stop pellagra.
Yeah, smart professor. How?
Bring me all the different weeds and shrubs that grow around you. Even the ones that you say are poison. I'll show you which ones you can eat to stop pellagra.
And the farmers brought piles of weeds to the professor's laboratory. And he came out with the weeds cooked and put them before the farmers.
What's that, man?
Now, right around your homes, in the yards, there's weeds you can eat that will stop pellagra. Try them. They're good.
They're weeds poison, Professor. Everybody knows that.
Now, the ones I've selected are not poison if cooked this way. Now, look. I'll eat them for you. And if I live, will you rotate your crops?
The farmers watched the professor eat the weeds, then took his recipe and turned away from cotton for a year. And the next year, when the new cotton started growing, the counties of Alabama had an early celebration for the great crops. Professor Washington came into Professor Carver's laboratory.
Carver, you've done it.
What's that?
What's that? Man, get away from the test tubes for a while and look about the country. It's the greatest cotton crop in Alabama's history.
Yes, but I don't like it.
What are you talking about?
Cotton is a cash crop, ruled in the South with an iron fist. He who owns the cotton owns the people who work it. I came back here because I know the land has got to grow more than cotton if the people ought to be free.
I see. And what do you have in mind?
I don't know yet. I've been working on some experiments trying to find a way out.
You've done enough. Your formula for turning mud into paint's been picked up by the Agriculture Department. Alabama mud's the most popular mud in the world.
And Alabama poverty is the worst in the world. Until we can grow something besides cotton, they're doomed.
Well, have you any idea what ought to be planted?
I have plenty of ideas. I just don't have any ideas on how to get rid of the cotton.
The professor walked home from his laboratory and saw the cotton ready to burst into bolls for the biggest crop. But that morning, a farmer had even bigger news.
Professor Carver! Carver!
Yes? What is it?
Look, I found one in the cotton patch this morning.
I can't see it. What is it?
It's a boll weevil.
Oh.
Where there's one, there's a billion. What'll we do?
Well, there's nothing to do but plow under the cotton and plant another crop.
What crops is there the boll weevil can't get at?
You call the farmers together with my garden. I'll tell them.
The farmers for 100 miles gathered around the professor's little garden and saw him lift a familiar vine.
Here's a sweet potato and a peanut vine untouched by the boll weevil. Next to it was the cotton. The boll weevil ate it. Now I say again, plow under your cotton, plant sweet potatoes and peanuts.
Well, I don't know much about this peanut crop, but What can we lose? Boll Weevil's got cotton.
I'd stake everything on the crops he's talking about. I'm willing.
Me too.
Well, what can we lose?
Yeah, I'll go along. I'm agreeing.
The professor won the first round. The farmers plowed under their cotton, sprinkled the ground with poison, and planted peanuts and sweet potatoes. And when the crops came up, the leafy vines stretched across the state. And the farmers came around. They had a few polite questions.
The peanut crop's planted, grown well, Professor.
It'll be the biggest peanut crop the country's known, some say.
I was wondering what do we do with them when they're ready to be picked.
Peanuts and potatoes are food. You could find a market for them.
I wonder.
Professor Carver went back to his laboratory to reshuffle the molecules of the peanut and potato. But the crops were almost ready to harvest, and some were rotting in the field. Panic swept over the farms, and the farmers came over to visit the professor at his home. They threw open the door.
There he is. There's the Yankee professor told us to plant peanuts.
Come on, Professor. We want to talk to you.
Come out here.
What do you want here? What have I done to you?
You made us sink everything we had in the fool's crop. Now the fields will rot with them.
Nobody wants to buy peanuts, Professor.
Oh, let him alone. Ain't his fault. Too many peanuts on the market already.
We took his advice and planted them.
Let's give them back to him.
Wait, men, wait. I tell you, you did right by planting peanuts. And there's not enough on the market.
Don't tell us. You tell the guys who buy them.
Yes, thanks to you, we raised enough peanuts to supply a circus for 10 years.
Look, farmer, there is more use for your crops than for circuses and for pleasure. I'm working on ways to use them. In a few more days, I'll have something that'll make them buy out all your crops. Give me a little more time.
Time? I read where they're even planning to admit foreign-grown peanuts into the country tax-free.
There's more peanuts than anybody ever used. Give them to him, boy.
Let me go back to my laboratory and finish the experiments. I'll have something to make you proud of what you planted.
Well, here's some you can have to work on. Hold up them bushels of peanuts, boys. Dump them on them.
When the farmers had gone, the professor picked up the peanuts, took them to his laboratory, gave orders that no one was to come in. And for 6 days and nights they watched the light burn while he stripped down the peanut, took it to pieces, and began to rebuild. On the 7th day, he staggered out of the laboratory.
Carver, are you all right?
Very well, very well. Tell the farmers not to destroy the crop. Let me rest and wake me Monday. I am going to Washington.
Professor Carver slept, and when he woke, filled his satchel with jars and tubes from his laboratory, and went on his way to Washington to place the case of the peanut before the Senate committee in a crowded hearing room.
Has the last witness been heard? Is it agreed that peanuts will be excluded from the tariff bill, then? If so, we'll proceed.
Just a minute, Mr. Chairman. One more witness from Tuskegee Institute, Dr. George Washington Carver.
Oh, another witness? What can he say that hasn't already been said?
If you will listen to him for 5 minutes, Mr. Chairman, there's some manufacturers in the House who would like to hear him.
The chair will recognize Dr. George Washington Carver for 5 minutes. Can you cover your subject in 5 minutes, Dr. Carver?
No, but I can make a start.
What are you here for? To testify for or against a tariff on peanuts?
Oh, I'm not interested in tariffs, gentlemen. I was told the Senate wanted to know if it were worth the while to support the peanut crops in the South. Now, if you'll wait until I lift my suitcase to the table and open it. There. I'll present you with the peanut. First here, made from the peanut, are some inexpensive insulating boards. This is synthetic coffee. Paper, flour, milk and cheese, plastics, stains, creams, powder, buttermilk, mucilage, ink, starch, tapioca.
Professor Carver pulled out of his bag 300 synthetics made from the Alabama peanuts. The senators listened. The manufacturers rushed home to order the southern crops. the boy who had been traded for a horse put the peanuts back into his bag and went to his laboratory to reshuffle the molecules. The sound of the horse still clear in his head.
You have just heard Destination Freedom's dramatization of the story of Dr. George Washington Carver. It is brought to you by the Chicago Defender newspaper and station WMAQ. Destination Freedom is written by Richard Durham and produced under the direction of Homer Heck. The role of George Washington Carver was played by Fred Pinker. Others were Hope Summers, Gladys Williams, Oscar Brown, Ken Griffin, George Kluge, and Arthur Peterson. The special music was written by Emil Soderstrom and played by Elwin Owen and Bobby Christian. This is Hugh Downs, inviting you to be with us again next week at this same time. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
The Old Time Radio Hour broadcasts weekly over the World Wide Web with over 500,000 downloads. You can subscribe at no charge through Apple Podcasts, Podbean, or RSS. Thank you for listening. We hope you can join us again next week for another hour of classic radio entertainment. Until then, this is your host, Justine Ward, saying so long for a while.